Hello students, I am Harshala Datte, Senior Lecturer of Department of Computer Engineering. In this video lecture, I am going to teach you the topic circular queue. In last video lecture, we have learned linear queue and the operations on the linear queue. In this lecture, we are going to see definition of circular queue, overflow underflow condition of circular queue and the operations on the circular queue. The unit outcomes of this video is develop an algorithm to perform given operations on the circular queue. After this video lecture, you will understand advantages of circular queue over the linear queue. That is, what is the need of circular queue, which disadvantage of linear queue is overcome by the circular queue. Circular queue definition. You will understand working principle of circular queue. Circular queue as an ADT, that is abstract data type. You will understand overflow condition of the circular queue, underflow condition of the circular queue, insert operation on circular queue and the delete operation on the circular queue. The advantage of circular queue over the linear queue. Unutilized space. Circular queue having the one disadvantage, that is the unutilized space. To understand this disadvantage, let's take one example. This is a linear queue of size 3. You can see that there are two elements 20 and 30. Front is at first index location, whereas rear is at second index location. So if I want to insert 10 into this linear queue, can I insert this 10 into linear queue? In this linear queue? No. Why? If you see that, if you remember that the overflow condition of the linear queue is rear is equal to max minus 1. So max is nothing but the size of queue. Here size of linear queue is 3. So 3 minus 1 2. Since rear is at 2, means there is at max minus 1 location, your linear queue is overflow. Means what? You cannot insert element in this linear queue. Though it has a places, empty place at the front side, you can see that at the index 0 there is no element. So though this having the, here is a empty space, though it has the empty space at the front side, we cannot insert element into this linear queue. Why? Because the rear has reaches the max minus 1 location, that is the rear is equal to 2. So this is the unutilized space disadvantage of the linear queue. Though linear queue has an empty place at the front side, we cannot perform the insert operation. This disadvantage of unutilized space of the linear queue is overcome by the circular queue by forming the queue in the circular form. Circular form means what? The front and rear are rotating circularly. If rear is reaches to the last position, then rear will again come to the 0th position by rotating front and rear circularly. The definition of the circular queue. Circular queue is a queue formed in circular fashion. It is a non-primitive linear data structure in which an element may be inserted at one end called rear and deleted from the another end called front. So this is a physical structure of the circular queue. This is nothing but one array of size 8. You can see that index location 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 till 7. So size of array is 8 and there are two variables required for pointing front and rear. At the front side there is a 10, at the rear side there is a 50. Working principle of circular queue. The working principle of circular queue is same as the linear queue, that is first in first out. Circular queue is also known as first in first out list. It means that element inserted first will be the removed first. Circular queue representation using array. How you can store the circular queue using array? So this is a physical circular queue. We will write the logical structure of the circular queue. That is struct CQ. CQ is the structure name of the circular queue, where you can see that this array is of size 8. This array is of size 8. So we require one array A of 8 and two variable front and rear to store the index value of the array. So front and rear of the integer type. The data type of the array is integer. Why? Because this circular queue contains the data which is in integer form. Next is a circular queue as an ADT. If I want to implement the circular queue, so before that implementing circular queue, we have to construct the ADT, that is abstract data type. So first thing is to initialize the circular queue to be empty. Check the circular queue is empty or not. Why we are checking this? Because if queue is empty, we cannot perform the delete operation. Check the circular queue is full or not. Why? If it is full, we cannot perform insert operation. Insert a new element at the rear end if the circular queue is not full. Delete the element from the front end if the circular queue is not empty. The insert operation on the full circular queue causes the circular queue overflow, whereas delete operation on the empty circular queue causes the circular queue underflow. We are going to implement this one by one. But before that, let us see what is the circular queue empty condition and circular queue full condition. Circular queue empty. It is the same like the linear queue. If there is no person in the queue, of course rear and front flag pointer will be on the floor. So in case of array, if there is no person in a queue, then your front and rear will be less than 0. Less than 0 means what? -1. So circular queue empty condition is front and rear is equal to -1. Next is the circular queue full condition. So there are two circular queue full condition. First is rear is equal to max -1 and front is equal to 0. Whereas in linear queue, our linear queue full condition was only rear is equal to max -1. But here we can check the both condition. Rear should be at max -1 and front should be at 0. Then only your circular queue is full. And another location is if rear and front, since it is a circular queue, if rear and front is back to back, then it is a circular queue full condition. That is rear plus 1 is equal to front. We are going to understand this with help of the diagram. So let us first see the first condition, that is rear is equal to max -1 and means what? Both conditions should be true. Front is equal to 0. So this is a circular queue of size 8 having front is at 0 and rear is equal to max -1. What is max size of the queue? So you can see that the size of queue is what? 8. 0 to 7 it is 8. So size of queue is 8. So 8 minus 1 it is 7. So rear is at max -1 and front is at 0. So this is the first condition. Rear is equal to max -1, that is 8 minus 1 7, and the front is equal to 0. So this is a circular queue full. Now next condition. Next condition is front and followed by the rears. To understand this condition, let us do some insert and delete operation on the circular queue. See, this is a circular queue full with the first condition, that is front is equal to 0 and rear is equal to max -1, that is 7. So let us perform some insert and delete operation. First we are going to perform delete operation. So delete, whenever we perform the delete operation, the element which has front side will get deleted. So what is available at the front side? 10. So how it will be deleted? We are keeping here 0 and increment the front. So now front will point to 1 and here it comes 0. See, it is 0 and front is point to the 1. Again perform one delete operation. What will be deleted? Of course deleted which is present at the front. What is available at the front? 20. So it will convert it to 0. We put here 0 and we will increment front by 1. Now front is 1. After performing one more delete operation, front will 2. See. Now till now we are performing delete operation twice. In first delete operation we delete the 10. In second delete operation we deleted the 20. Now we have the rear and front position such as. Now we are going to perform the insert operation. See, if you see this Q, here rear is equal to max minus 1. If this is the linear Q, then this is the Q overflow. But this is what circular Q. So we are rotating front and rear. So after reaching the last position, insert operation see whether there are the empty places at the front side or not. If it is there are empty spaces at the front side, then rear will point to the 0. So we are going to perform the insert operation, and this insert operation will insert the element at the 0th location. See, insert 10. Insert 10 will insert the element at 10 and we shift the rear from 7 to 0. We are not performing the rear increment operation. We are moving the rear from max minus 1 to 0. Why we are moving that? Because there are the empty places at the front side. Again, I want to insert one number, that is 20. Where 20 will inserted at the rear side. How? 20 will inserted at the first location and rear will incremented by 1. So for insert 20, we are first incrementing the rear by 1. Now rear is 0, so 0 plus 1, it will be the 1. And we are inserting the 20 over the rear position. So this is again the Q is full. You can see that this Q is full. But this condition is not the first condition. Front is not at 0 and rear is not at the max minus 1. Here the condition is front is equal to rear plus 1. Rear plus 1 is equal to front. So rear is following the front. This is the second condition. So rear plus 1 is the front. Rear is 1. Front is 2. So 1 plus 1, 2. So this is the another condition of the circular Q overflow. Now let us see the function for the circular Q initialization. In circular Q initialization, we are making the circular Q empty. As I told you before, the circular Q empty condition is front is equal to rear is equal to minus 1. So this is the structure of circular Q. We are making the circular Q by taking one array of size 8 and two variable front and rear. Here F is for front, R is for rear, and one structure variable, that is CQ. So we are writing our first function, initialization function. In initialization function, we are making the circular Q empty by writing the empty condition. So void init CQ is a function name of the circular Q initialization. We are passing structure variable CQ. This is the CQ. We are passing here address of the CQ. So whenever you are passing address of the CQ, you already passes this all the structure members. Structure members means what? Array and the front and rear. So this is the logic for making circular Q empty. Front is equal to minus 1, rear is equal to minus 1. But front and rear, F and R, are the structure variable, structure member. That's why these members are accessed with the help of the structure variable. So structure variable is CQ. So F, we cannot write F directly. We are writing F such as CQ of F is equal to minus 1, CQ of rear is equal to minus 1. This function will make your circular Q empty. Circular Q operation insert. Now we are going to perform the insert operation on the circular Q. The insert operation is used to insert an element into circular Q at the rear end. And the insert operation on full circular Q causes the circular Q overflow. As I told you before, circular Q full conditions are the circular Q overflow condition. So we have two overflow conditions. First is rear is equal to max minus 1 and front is equal to 0. See, this is the circular Q having this condition. Front is at 0 and rear is at 7. And second condition is rear plus 1 is equal to front. That is, front is followed by the rear. So here is the second circular Q which is full by the second condition. Now this is the algorithm for circular Q. The algorithm for the circular queue is same as a linear queue, only there is a one change. While we are performing the insert operation, we are adjusting the rear to the 0 if rear is equal to max minus 1. See, in step 1, we are checking whether there is an overflow or not. If front is equal to 0, this is the first condition of circular queue overflow, and rear is equal to max minus 1, or there is another condition also, rear plus 1 is equal to front. Then write overflow and return. Why return? Because we cannot perform insert operation on the full circular queue. If this circular queue is not full, then we are going to perform the insert operation. Like in step 2. See, if rear is equal to max minus 1, then we set the rear to the 0. Why? Because we are going to rotate the rear circularly. So rear is at last position, then again set rear to the 0th location. Otherwise, else rear plus plus. Means rear is equal to rear plus 1. Otherwise, we are incrementing the rear. Set Q of rear is equal to item. Means whatever you are going to insert is stored in an item, set it to the rear position of the queue. And then if front is equal to minus 1, then set front is equal to 0. Such same like the linear queue. If your front is minus 1, means if you are inserting the element, first element into the circular queue. So while incrementing the rear, you have to increment the front also. Now let us see how this algorithm can be converted into the function. Function for the circular queue insert. So I am writing this, I am keeping this algorithm on this slide to understand how these steps are followed to construct the function. So this is the function syntax. Void CQ insert. CQ insert is the function name for the circular queue insert function. Structure CQ, pointer CQ. Pointer CQ means what? CQ is a structure variable and int item. In int item, we are passing the number that we are going to insert. Now see the algorithm step 1. Step 1 is what? Checking the overflow by entering these two conditions. So in function, next we are writing that condition only. If front is equal to 0 and rear is equal to max minus 1. See, if rear is equal to 7. Why 7? Because our queue size is 8. So 8 minus 1, max minus 1 is a 7. So if rear is equal to 7 and front is equal to 0, or second condition is what? Rear plus 1 is equal to F. So we are writing CQ of R plus CQ of rear is equal to CQ of F. If any one condition among these is true, then we write the circular queue is full, so we cannot perform insert operation. Or you can write circular queue overflow and return. If it is not, then we are going to perform step 2. What is step 2? If rear is equal to max minus 1, in our case queue size is 8, so max minus 1 is 7. If rear is equal to 7, then set rear is equal to 0, otherwise rear plus plus. See, if R is equal to rear is equal to 7, rear is equal to 0, otherwise rear plus plus. Next step is set Q of rear is equal to item. So we are inserting the item at the rear position of the array A. So how you write? CQ of A, CQ of rear is equal to item. See, CQ of A, CQ of rear is equal to item. The next step is, if front is equal to minus 1, set front is equal to 0. Since front, we are using F for the front, so we are writing if F is equal to minus 1, then F is equal to 0. But F is a structure member, so we are accessing it with the structure variable, and in our case structure variable is CQ. So we are writing if CQ of F is equal to minus 1, then CQ of F is equal to 0. See. So this is how the function of the circular queue insert is constructed with the help of the algorithm. The next operation on the circular queue is a delete operation. So For delete operation is used to delete the element from circular queue present at the front. And the delete operation on the empty circular queue causes the circular queue underflow. So when we cannot perform the circular queue delete operation if your circular queue is empty. So this is the circular queue empty. When circular queue is empty, F and R points to the -1. See. So circular queue underflow condition is front is equal to rear is equal to -1. Let us see the algorithm for it. Again, circular queue delete operation is same as the linear queue delete. Only there is one difference is what? If in delete operation front is at reaches to the rear max -1 condition, that is last position, then we again set front is equal to what? 0. See, in step 1 we are checking the underflow. If front is equal to -1, then we write the underflow and stop, means return. If it is not underflow, means your circular queue is not empty, then we have to delete the element which is at the front side. So how? Set the val is equal to q of front, means what? Whatever you are going to delete, we are storing it into one variable, that is val. After that we are deleting the element. How? Set q of front is equal to 0. Why? Because the element which is at front side will get deleted. So that's why we are setting q of front is equal to 0. Step 3. If the front is equal to rear, when this condition happen? If there are only the single element present in the queue. If there is only one element left in the queue and it will get deleted, your queue become empty. And queue empty condition is front is equal to rear is equal to -1. That's why in step 3, if front is equal to rear, then set front and rear is equal to -1. Otherwise means what? If you are whatever you are deleting is not the last element of the circular queue, then again check. If front is equal to max -1 means what? If front is reaches to the last location, rotate that front by setting front is equal to 0. Otherwise, increment the front by the 1. And last step is the return data. So in step 2 we are doing what? We are storing the value to be deleted into the val variable, and in set q of front is equal to 0 we are deleting the element, and in step 3 we are adjusting the front. So there are 3 cases. If front is equal to rear, we are setting front and rear is equal to -1. Otherwise, if front reaches to the last location, that is front is equal to max -1, then we are setting front is equal to 0. Otherwise, we are incrementing front by the 1. So let us implement the circular queue delete function with the help of this algorithm. This is algorithm. Now see, CQDel is a delete function of the circular queue. So we are passing only the structure variable, pointer structure variable, that is pointer CQ. We cannot pass the element that we are going to delete it. Why? Because element which is at the front, it will get automatically deleted, because circular queue follows first in first out principle. So step 1 is what? Checking the underflow. So in function we are writing, if f is equal to -1, CQ of f is equal to -1, then circular queue underflow we cannot perform the delete operation, so we return. If you see that the data type of the function is an integer. Why? Because we are returning something. The data type of the function is the data type of the returned variable, and what we are returning? Whatever is going to be deleted. So in step 2 we take one variable in data. See here, I declare one variable in data, and we store the value to be deleted into the data. How? Data is equal to which value is going to be deleted, which is at the front. So data is equal to CQ of A of CQ of F, means array front location of the array, whatever is present is stored into the data. After that we are making that 0. How? A of F is equal to 0. So CQ of F is equal to 0. So this is what the step 2. After that step 3. There are 2 if condition we are going to see. First is what? If front is equal to rear. See, if CQ of F is equal to CQ of rear, then front is equal to rear is equal to -1. Otherwise, if front is equal to 7, that is front is equal to max -1, then we are setting F is equal to 0. We are rotating F front in delete function, and what we are rotating in insert function, rear. Now see, otherwise we increment the f by the 1, f plus plus. After this we are going to return the data. So next last line is the return data. This is the delete function of the circular queue. We are going to make the program of these two function and run the program into the circular queue practical. Thank you.